Imagine a man who made millions laugh, only to lose everything for standing by a friend in their darkest hour. This is the story of a comedian whose loyalty sparked a firestorm that consumed his career, his family, and his legacy. Born into a military family in St. Louis, Missouri, in the mid-1960s. He grew up as one of 6 siblings, navigating a childhood marked by his father's struggles with PTSD from Vietnam. The tension at home pushed his mother to uproot the family, moving them to New York and back to St. Louis, where he discovered his knack for comedy. In college, he honed his craft, studying the greats' classic duos, iconic entertainers, and stage legends, learning not just how to land a punchline, but how to own a room. By the early 1990s, he'd risen to fame hosting a groundbreaking comedy show that launched the careers of some of the biggest names in the game. Every week, millions tuned in to see him introduce raw, fearless, talent comedians who would become household names. He idolized a certain trailblazing comic, a man who'd climbed to the peak of the industry, blending humor with cultural impact. That admiration shaped his early career, but it would also lead him to a decision that changed everything. He broke into Hollywood with roles in major films, starring alongside music and movie icons. TV came calling too, with guest spots on hit dramas. He married, started a family, and founded a charity that mentored thousands of kids, cementing his reputation as a man who gave back. Life seemed perfect: success, respect, and a platform to make a difference. But beneath the surface, loyalties ran deep. In the mid-1990s, he joined a fraternity that forged bonds stronger than Hollywood deals. One of those bonds was with his comedy idol, a figure who'd inspired him from afar. When allegations began swirling around this icon in 2014, the entertainment world turned its back. Most stars distanced themselves, but he didn't. He watched, listened, and waited, preparing for a choice that would define him. At first, he spoke of healing, urging compassion for everyone involved. But as the accusations grew louder, his stance hardened, setting the stage for a public reckoning. In 2017, a call came. His idol's legal team needed supporters to stand by him in court. While others fled, he said yes. He told friends he was curious about the legal system, eager to see justice in action. But when photos surfaced of him walking arm in arm with the accused into a Pennsylvania courthouse, guiding him through a sea of cameras and protesters, the truth was clear. This wasn't curiosity, it was conviction. The images went viral, and the backlash was swift. Social media branded him a traitor, accusing him of chasing clout or worse. Industry insiders whispered about his judgment. The man who'd once been a beloved host was now a pariah. If this story touches your heart, please share it to spread awareness about the cost of standing by your beliefs. The fallout didn't stop at public outrage. His own brother, a rising comedy star in his own right, couldn't stomach the betrayal. The two had grown up competing, chasing the same dreams from St. Louis to Hollywood. The younger brother had carved his own path, creating a comedy showcase that rivaled his siblings' influence. But seeing his brother defend a man who'd once dismissed their gritty urban comedy style as despicable broke something between them. Their mother, a teacher who'd instilled values of integrity and community, was caught in the middle, her prayers unable to mend the growing rift. The brothers' feud spilled into public view when the younger sibling called out the hypocrisy on a radio show. He revealed how their idol had criticized their movement years earlier, yet now his brother stood by him. The older sibling fired back, labeling his brother a narcissist driven by jealousy. By 2018, their family was fractured. The once tight bond between the brothers reduced to public attacks and private pain. Meanwhile, the comedian's career crumbled, his marriage strained under the pressure. Friends ghosted him. Hollywood shut its doors. Casting directors stopped calling, and comedy clubs hesitated to book him. The man who'd spent decades building a legacy was now an outcast. In court, he didn't just sit in the gallery. After sessions, he visited the accused's home, walking the rooms where the alleged crimes took place, piecing together his own version of the truth. Late-night talks with the embattled icon revealed a bond deeper than anyone knew. The accused warned him to step back to protect himself from the fallout, but he refused, doubling down as the first trial ended in a mistrial. By the 2018 retrial, the stakes were higher, his industry connections were gone, his family divided, and public opinion had turned vicious. Yet he kept showing up, unwavering. When the guilty verdict came down in 2018, sentencing his idol to prison, he stood firm. Outside the courthouse, he made a statement that shocked the world. He didn't just defend his friend, he challenged the justice system itself, demanding equal scrutiny for other powerful figures accused of similar crimes. The comment ignited a firestorm. Critics accused him of downplaying serious allegations, twisting his call for fairness into something uglier. Social media erupted, and his words were clipped into sound bites that fueled the outrage. By year's end, his career was in ashes. At 53, the man who'd once commanded stages and screens was starting over, performing in small venues to audiences unaware of his past. In 2021, a legal technicality overturned the conviction, and the icon walked free. For many, this was vindication, but he stayed quiet. At 56, his career was a shadow of its former self, his family ties strained, his reputation in tatters. His brother, meanwhile, thrived, turning his comedy showcase into a documentary series, his legacy secure. The contrast was stark. Two brothers, two paths, two definitions of integrity. Their mother, now in her 80s, still prayed for reconciliation, but family gatherings were tense, haunted by unspoken wounds. Today, he performs on smaller stages, mentors young comedians, and keeps his charity alive. His audiences may not know the full story, but they laugh all the same. He expresses no regrets, standing by his belief that he fought for what was right, even if the world disagreed. The cultural tide had shifted, leaving his stance out of step with a new era. Yet he remains optimistic, believing his idol still has a place in the world because people are always being born. His story isn't over, but it's a far cry from the bright lights of his prime. He chose loyalty over fame, principle over popularity, and paid the ultimate price in an industry that thrives on playing it safe. He bet everything on his truth and lost it all. But that loss revealed something unshakable. A man who could face himself in the mirror, no matter the cost. If this story moved you, please like, subscribe, and share to keep these powerful stories alive.